So today's video, I want to help the victims of narcissistic abuse. So those are the guys who are. So you're probably going through a discard, and then it's like you've gone through this cycle of abuse. You've gone through all this trauma over the years, with your parents, maybe with your narcissistic partners, wives, husbands, and probably you're out there wondering, after all these things the narcissist has done, are they coming back to apologize? Because you see, the problem is a lot of people, when they leave these narcissists, they're thinking about waiting for these individuals to come around and say sorry for whatever it is they have done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been there. So one of the things which baffled me in those days, I was very hopeful after all those events that this particular individual will come around and they try to explain what exactly just happened. Because you guys know that I've told you guys in my videos that I've been hoovered once. So I've been hoovered once, and the second time when I went back into that relationship, that's when I woke up. You know what I mean? So this awakening helped me to understand that these individuals I was dealing with, they are very broken. So these are broken individuals, and these are people who have been doing all these kind of things to so many people around the world. So I eventually knew that this was not. I wasn't the first one. I wasn't the first one in this situation. There have always been victims everywhere. Until this moment, as we're speaking, there's still victims who are still trapped with those kind of individuals. But there's one thing that what you will realize with those individuals: when you're still with them, they may wrong you. Actually, they're not made. They will wrong you most of the times. They will mess up with you. They will mess up with your head. They will mess up with your with the mind. And then all of a sudden you'll be thinking, how could somebody do something like that to me? You know what I mean? So most of the times when they figure out that the empath is your heart, because that's the intention of the narcissist. The narcissist is intending to hurt you. So when they figure out that they have hurt you, and you're most likely going to get out of those relationships, or maybe jump out of those families, that is when they are going to come around and do, there's something what they call fake apology. So they're going to come around and do a fake apology. So sometimes you may see them crying, shedding a little bit of these crocodile tears, sorry, I did not know what I was doing, and things like that. And most of the times you're thinking that is the truth. The only reason why they are doing that apology in that moment, I'm talking about that moment, is because they are scared that you're going to dump them. So they are scared that you're going to catch up on them, and most likely you're going to leave those relationships. So that's why they come around and very quickly twist everything and do a very small fake apology. But you're going to notice that even if they apologize in that moment, in 2 days or 3 days, they're going to go back to the beginning. So the abuse is going to start all over again. You know what I mean? And they are most likely going to do that same thing that you guys had argued or you are fighting about. They are going to go back and do that similar thing. So when you're dealing with this narcissist, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very important for you to know you're not going to get apologies from these people. The only apologies they will get is only for them to hold you in those entanglements for a longer period of time, because they are not ready to lose you at that moment, because remember that they're not prepared. So the narcissist can only lose you when they have prepared themselves. When they know that, okay, so they have got an option, they have got a plan B. You know what I mean? If there's not a plan B, they're going to stick on to you. It does not matter how sour the relationship looks, how toxic it looks, they're going to keep on sticking in there until they have got a plan B. So the only apologies you're getting from them is because they're still trying to hold you closer to them until they're ready to discard you at their own terms. Because you guys have already told you that the narcissists they're the ones who want to perform this discard. They want everything to happen according to their own terms. Because when you are the one who is going to discard them, it is going to injure them, and they cannot handle that. So it's going to cause them a narcissistic injury when you discard those particular individuals. So when you have left a narcissist after those pains, the trauma, the abuse and all these kind of things, the manipulation and all the games, it is important for you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, for the most of you guys who don't know who a narcissist is, and you come across these kind of videos, you can take it from the people who have been there. That the people you're dealing with, these are demons. You're not going to get a person who is demonically possessed to come around and apologize to you for the things they have done. You know what I mean? So this is something they are going to live with it until the rest of their lives. If it is your parent, you have got to know they will never apologize until they reach that last moment on earth where they know that, okay, so this is the end. You know, maybe those days they are too old, they are on their deathbed, they are going to die. That's when they may sometimes call you and apologize to the things they have done to you, especially for the most of you guys who are the black sheep. But even if you're in a relationship, you need to best believe the narcissist is not going to come anywhere close to you and take responsibility and take accountability for the things they have done, or even sometimes apologize to you. They are not going to do that. It is not in their software, it is not in their system. They are going to continue moving forward with their lives. They are going to continue going with those new supplies, with the new relationships, those new entanglements, and they're usually going to keep on pretending that you never existed. So this is one of the most painful things you're going to realize as a victim of abuse. Being wronged by somebody who cannot even acknowledge, or sometimes come to that acknowledging acceptance that they have actually at some point done all these horrible things to you. You know what I mean? So it is within you that you're supposed to find the closure within your heart. You need to find the strength. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be very difficult. If you've been with somebody for over 20 years, 30 years, you've been married or whatever, entangled for over these years, and you've been abused, emotionally abused, it is going to be very difficult for you to accept that those people, it doesn't matter what they did to you, they are not going to come back and say sorry. So you don't wait for an apology. Try to move on as hard as you can. You know what I mean? It's the reason as to why we've told you guys, when you leave those individuals, you just have to know that it's game over. You have figured out they're the narcissist. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only thing you can do. You just have to keep on moving and go forward with your life. You know what I mean? So what am I saying by this is that you are going to now have to start healing those wounds by yourself. You know what I mean? Without the person who caused those wounds. So you're not going to see them on your healing journey. You're going to heal by yourselves, and you're the one who's going to actually nurture those wounds until you heal and get out of that pain. So you're going to do it most of the time by yourself. But do not put it in your mind that the people that wronged you, you will never see them again and they're going to come around. Even if you see them again, most of the time they're going to ask you about things. How is your life? You know, how is your new home? How is your new job? Those things like that. But you never hear them mentioning anything that they have done in your life, because a lot of those individuals, they do not even recognize they have been abusing you most of the times, but they cannot understand that pain, because remember that these guys, they lack empathy. So they cannot resonate with the pain that they have caused you, because inside of them they are empty shells. They do not feel anything inside of them. You know what I mean? They are like balloons. You know what I mean? They are full of air. So whatever pain they have caused you, it is a surface thing. For them, it's a surface thing. It's an easy thing they can just do to anyone around them. You know what I mean? And it's also important for you to know that it has not only been you. There have been many victims before you who are always complaining about the same thing. Find the closure within yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Nurture those wounds by yourself. I don't know, maybe you have to go to therapy, maybe you have to go seek some help or whatever, but do whatever you can to make sure that you don't put it in your mind, because the more you put it in your mind that you're waiting for these individuals to come around and apologize to you, it is never going to happen, and it's going to actually continuously hurt you. You know what I mean? So find the courage within yourself to heal those wounds by yourself, and do not expect any apologies from these individuals. I hope this video helps.